Imagine a murder so complex, it baffles even the post-mortem report. Picture this, a young couple, newly bound in the blissful sanctity of matrimony, set off on their honeymoon, their hearts filled with dreams of a beautiful life together. They are the epitome of love and happiness, a sight that would make even the coldest hearts melt. But, on the 27th day of their honeymoon, a cloud of despair descends as the bride is found lifeless, her dreams abruptly ended in the most mysterious circumstances. The post-mortem report, typically a beacon of truth in such grim affairs, is left scratching its head. The cause of death is elusive, leaving no trace, no hint, no clue for the investigators to follow. It's as though the Grim Reaper himself had come to claim the young bride, leaving behind a puzzle that seems impossible to solve. The investigators, seasoned veterans, find themselves drawn into a labyrinth of confusion and intrigue. Each piece of evidence, each testimony, each clue seems to lead them further into the abyss of uncertainty. It's like a game of chess, where every move, every strategy, every calculated risk only deepens the mystery. As the days pass, the case grows colder, the leads dry up, and the hope of finding justice for the young bride begins to fade. The headlines scream of the Unfathomable Murder, a chilling testament to the labyrinthine puzzle that has ensnared the investigators. Yet, amidst the despair and confusion, there is a strange sense of anticipation. The kind that sends shivers down your spine, the kind that keeps you awake at night, the kind that makes you question everything you thought you knew about crime and justice. But the story doesn't end here. It's just the beginning of a twisted tale. For in the world of crime, every dead end is merely a new beginning. Every mystery, a challenge to be unraveled, and every crime, a story waiting to be told. Stay tuned, for the tale of the unfathomable murder is far from over. What if the killer is not a person, but something far more insidious? An eerie question that haunted the investigators as they delved deeper into the perplexing mystery. The classic whodunit had taken a peculiar turn, forcing them to broaden their perspective and look beyond the realm of the ordinary. The murder of the bride on the 27th day of her honeymoon had left everyone stunned. The autopsy report posed more questions than answers, leaving the seasoned forensic experts confounded. The cause of death was elusive, and the absence of any physical injury or signs of struggle only added to the enigma. In the quest for answers, a myriad of theories surfaced, each more bizarre than the last. The first theory proposed the involvement of deadly toxins. Could it be that the killer was not a person, but a lethal poison, so rare and refined that it left no trace in the body? As the investigators grappled with this possibility, another theory emerged, hinting at the involvement of paranormal entities. It seemed ludicrous, yet the inexplicable circumstances surrounding the death urged them to consider it. Could it be that the bride was the victim of a malevolent spirit or an ancient curse? Yet another theory suggested that the killer was a lethal disease, so rare and obscure that it slipped under the radar of the medical fraternity. This theory sent a chill down the spines of the investigators, for if true, it meant the killer could strike again, anywhere, anytime. Each theory, while wildly speculative, was a testament to the baffling nature of the case. The investigators found themselves treading on uncharted territory, the eerie silence of the crime scene echoing the chilling possibilities. With no concrete leads, the investigation was at a standstill until the words hung in the air, a chilling reminder of the unfathomable mystery that lay ahead. The unseen killer was still at large, its identity as elusive as the motive behind the heinous act. The quest for truth was far from over, the next chapter of this chilling narrative waiting to unfold. A seemingly insignificant detail turned the entire investigation on its head. It was a puzzle, a murder on the 27th day of the honeymoon that had stumped everyone. But then, the unexpected happened. A tiny detail, initially overlooked, surfaced and changed the course of the investigation. You see, it's often the smallest things that hold the most significant clues, and in this case, it was no different. The bride had been exhibiting some strange behavior before her untimely demise. Friends and family had noticed, but dismissed it, attributing it to the stress of adjusting to married life. But our seasoned detective thought otherwise. He knew that in the world of crime solving, there's no such thing as coincidence. The bride, in the days leading up to her death, had become increasingly obsessed with origami. She would fold paper into intricate shapes for hours on end, seemingly lost in her own world. This behavior was unusual for her, and it had started suddenly, just days before her death. Now, this might seem like a quirky hobby to most, but our detective saw it as a potential clue. He began to ponder on this peculiar obsession. Could it be a coping mechanism, a way to deal with stress? Or perhaps was it a silent cry for help, an attempt to communicate something she couldn't put into words? He decided to delve deeper, to understand the significance of this sudden interest in origami. He consulted psychologists, studied the patterns of the folds, and even learned to make some himself. His persistence paid off when he discovered a hidden message in one of the origami pieces. It wasn't just a hobby, it was a coded message, a desperate plea for help. This revelation was more than a breakthrough in the investigation. It was a game changer. It opened up possibilities that no one had considered before, leading to a new line of inquiry. Suddenly, the case wasn't just about finding who had committed the crime. It was about understanding why it had happened. The puzzle pieces started to fit together, and a clearer picture began to emerge. This revelation took the investigation down an unexpected path. And so, our story continues, the mystery deepening with each turn. Sometimes the most dangerous threats are those that lurk unseen. In our tale of mystery and intrigue, it seems the most menacing peril was hiding not in the shadows of a dark alley or behind the deceptive smile of a stranger, but within the very body of our ill-fated bride. The villain of our story was not a cold-blooded murderer, but an undiagnosed, rare medical condition. As the medical examiner pored over the baffling post-mortem report, it was the seemingly insignificant anomalies that caught his attention. The subtle inconsistencies, the slight deviations from the norm, they all pointed towards something more than just an act of violence. Anomalies in the blood work, the strange pattern of cellular decay. They were all pieces of a jigsaw puzzle that didn't quite fit into the picture of a conventional murder. Each piece was an anomaly in its own right, but together, they painted a picture of a silent killer, a disease that had been stealthily wreaking havoc within the bride's body. This revelation sent ripples through the investigation. What was once viewed as a ruthless murder was now understood as an unfortunate, natural tragedy. The bride, in the prime of her life, was claimed not by a murderer's hand, but by an insidious disease, a condition so rare that it had eluded detection until now. Imagine a medical condition so obscure that it confounded seasoned pathologists, leading them down the path of a murder investigation. It's a stark reminder that sometimes the deadliest of threats are the ones we carry within us, undetected and undiagnosed. This twist, this revelation, was the key that unlocked the mystery. It was the answer that brought clarity to the chaos, the solution that transformed the bewildering murder case into a tragic tale of an undiagnosed condition. The truth, as they say, is often stranger than fiction. A murder mystery that wasn't a murder at all, but a silent battle lost to a rare, unseen disease. And just like that, the baffling murder case was solved. The resolution of a case often leaves more questions than answers. Such was the fate of our tale, a tale of love turned into a nightmare, a tale of life turned into a mystery. The aftermath of the resolution was as chaotic as the murder itself. The husband, once a happy newlywed, was now a man trapped in a maze of grief and disbelief. His world had crumbled, his joy turned into sorrow, his dreams shattered. The home that was once filled with laughter and love was now a haunting monument to a life cut short. The families involved were not spared either. There was an aura of gloom that hung over them, a cloud of sorrow that refused to fade away. The bright smiles were replaced by gloomy faces. The cheerful chatter turned into deafening silence. They were left to pick up the pieces of a jigsaw puzzle that was their life, a puzzle that would never be complete again. The community, too, felt the sting of this tragedy. The murder had not just claimed a life, it had stolen the peace of the community. The once vibrant neighborhood was now a ghost town, where fear lurked in every corner. People started locking their doors early. The laughter of children was replaced by the hushed whispers of adults. The streets that once echoed with life were now silent. The implications of the case on the medical field were profound. The murder had revealed the importance of thorough medical checkups. It emphasized the need for meticulous examination, for leaving no stone unturned. It served as a grim reminder that the smallest of details could hold the key to the biggest of mysteries. In the end, the most complex mysteries often have the simplest explanations. And in our tale, the explanation lay in the overlooked, the ignored, the dismissed. It was a cautionary tale, a tale that taught us to look closer, to dig deeper, to never underestimate the power of the seemingly insignificant. Because in the world of mysteries, nothing is ever as it seems.